So we've been making very good progress overall as a market. We have been climbing back from these big days of discounts on July 4th and 5th to now some very high prices, and I don't want to say high prices, some surging in prices in terms of BTC. We crossed 68K the other day, but we got a little bit of a sell-off last night on obviously some news from Mt. Gox moving coins, but that's not the only thing. The US government actually dumped $4 million in Bitcoin again. So their questioning is another BTC sell-off ahead. And frankly, right now, we have two entities that are battling each other, the longs and the shorts. And this leverage has gotten to this compression zone again. All right, when we look at what has been happening here, you have all this short interest filling in on one side and all this long interest filling in on the other. And right now we're in this very, very volatile battle between the two of these. There is billions of dollars in this chart sitting on both sides, very, very tight liquidation zones. And frankly, we can move very quickly one direction to the other. It's a question of, do we get enough good news? Do we get enough bad news? Do people make some big mistakes? Do people make some small mistakes? That's where we're at. And this might seem kind of, wishy-washy and non-committal, but that's where we're at. We can't control what the liquidity does. Now, what I will say is this. Specifically speaking about this U.S. government dumping $4 million worth of BTC, they actually have a lot of Bitcoin still available. All right. So this address, for example, it moved 58.47 BTC valued at 3.96 million. And this wallet still holds 213,000 BTC worth $14.43 billion. Now, are they doing what the German government did? No, they're not dumping at this same pace. This was a very small move. This again equated to $4 million. It's not like they're dumping hundreds of millions of dollars at a time like the German government was. Don't be fooled by these small little movements. The US government is going to probably sell unless we get to this point where they still have some and we start talking about Bitcoin reserves for the US and that's just conceptualized at this point. But know that right now there is enough capital sitting on the sidelines in the market to accumulate. Right? Even though we may go through some liquidations to the downside, kind of like I talked about in terms of BTC, us possibly coming back down and testing the bottom of our trend here. Like that, like I said, there's no guarantee that this happens, but don't make the mistake of thinking that there isn't downside support being built here, because there is. People have gotten kind of back into this buying mode. Institutional money has gotten back into this buying mode. The new trend for the market is up. Even though there's been corrections and sell-offs even along the way as BTC has climbed back here, there still has been accumulation. All this capital that's flowed into the market that's sitting on the sidelines is ready to accumulate. Absorbing any of this negative downside pressure is a lot easier than it was back here. We had such a rip-roaring run to the upside in terms of BTC. It was almost a guarantee that you were going to get cooldowns and cooldowns and cooldowns. That's what happens in the market. Now that demand has finally been catching back up to where supplies are at, we're kind of gearing up for this next explosion. Okay. And again, this is not guaranteed. This is not financial advice. I know we've been talking about this for a while, but we're finally at that moment where the clouds are clearing. And really, we're starting to see the sun above us. This is great for BTC. This is great for alts. We know BTC dominance has, in fact, been dropping. Obviously, I cover alts here more on the channel than anything. But you guys can see that even with this recent surge in BTC climbing back up to test this, it got rejected immediately. Alt season is upon us. We're about ready to make some major moves in the market as a whole, bringing further excitement, further FOMO, and happy to be sharing this moment with you guys. So appreciate you as always. Have a great day. Let me know your thoughts below, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.